And we are live. Guys, welcome back to the channel. You know how these things go. Every Wednesday, we're doing a Denver real estate market update. And by Denver, I'm meaning Denver Metro, the 7 greater zip code and counties. Not zip codes, counties that make up Denver Metro. And so we're going to do that update today, but we're also going to do something special where we compare Golden's market, Golden, Colorado, to Denver Metro. You're going to see how they match up. You're going to see what makes Golden so special. I'm going to show you around some listings, give you some insights on Golden, and I'm really excited to show you the different markets, because the reality is, even when we do a Denver Metro market update, Golden or Broomfield or Highlands Ranch or Littleton Elizabeth, every city is different. The real estate market here in Colorado is hyper local, meaning you can have one house on one side of the street and another house on the other, and those two be completely different markets, have completely different metrics and data, etc. And so you guys are in for a treat reviewing both Denver Metro and Golden, but we're going to start with Denver Metro today. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to just get right into it. Little sneak peek, I'm going to show you around Golden. We've got some amazing properties. And for those of you who aren't that familiar with Colorado, you definitely want to stick around to hear about Golden. But again, we're going to start with Denver Metro, and this is the weekly market brief from Colorado Home Realty. And guys, before we dive into this, I just want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. We have weekly updates. You don't want to miss this type of information. The market changes weekly, daily, monthly, and we want you to be informed. And I do my best to articulate everything we do here, so that not only do you understand it, but you can use this in your decision making and buying, selling, or investing here in Colorado. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, and all my contact information is below. If you have a need to reach out to me directly, I would of course love to serve you. I've been licensed here for the last 10 years. Let's get into this. Sellers concession and days on market remain elevated. Guys, seller's concession is essentially you as a seller paying a buyer's closing cost or rate buy down, etc. And days on market is how long it's taking you to sell your home. Those are both remaining elevated, reflecting plentiful inventory and patient buyers. However, contract activity is now outpacing the past 2 years. So excited about that. We'll get into it shortly. Illustrating a strong seasonal shift. Meanwhile, the average sold prices continue to rise. More offers are coming in above asking, and price reductions are on the decline. Sellers, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Now, seller's concessions are the dollar amount contributed by the seller at closing for the buyer's benefit. These can cover property repairs the seller opts to not complete before closing, rate buy downs, and other closing costs tied to the buyer's loan. Historically, concessions have averaged between $1,500 to $2,000. However, after a 2-year run-up in home prices followed by a spike in interest rates, concessions became standard in most contracts by 2022. And let me be clear here: concessions have, they've been a thing, but it really just depends on the market. So it almost used to be commonplace before I got into the industry in 2014, where almost every contract had concessions. And then once the market really started picking up, you were not able to get the seller to pay your closing costs because they had 3, 4, 5, 10 other offers right behind you that weren't asking for concessions. Well, the market we find ourselves in today, buyers just have more leverage because there's more homes to look at and less buyers in the market. And so what that creates is a little bit of leverage for them. And so as you can see in this chart, this is where concessions are at. They're kind of at a 5-year high. But if I bet you if we went back to 2019, 2018, concessions would probably be anywhere from this $4,000 to $8,000 range. And that's just from my experience of being in the market for the past 10 years, of knowing how these different markets move and react. But as of today, you can expect to pay seller concessions. Today, concessions are averaging $7,000, we'll call it, the highest on record for this time of year, driven by elevated interest rates, though on a downward trend. Super excited about that. And higher inventory, which shifts more negotiation powers to buyers. Guys, I promise I didn't read this before we went over this. I like to kind of just read this off the cuff, just so it's a little bit real. It's raw. It's new. It's fresh for both of us. But it's kind of funny how I'm getting ahead of what's written in the next paragraph. just through experience here. We expect concessions to moderate over the next couple of months, increasing buyer activity strengthens sellers' bargaining positions. But sellers should anticipate some ask for concession in most contracts. And so you can kind of make this out in this graph where concessions are higher in the slower part of the year. They kind of come down when the market heats up, and then they go up again when the market cools off in Q3, Q4. Hint on when the best time to sell is. Days on market. Typically, days on market plummets from early January through April before climbing again towards year end. However, this year's pattern has taken a puzzling turn. For the past 5 weeks, days on market has hovered between 49 and 50 days. That's this little graph right here, defying the usual seasonal drop, which I don't really love to see this. I'd like to see it kind of be in this bluish gray, following that trend, but it's not, and that's just the way it is. And so sellers, you just need to be prepared for that in order to have a successful experience in today's market. The explanation isn't complicated. Rising inventory, patient buyers, and elevated interest rates are showing the market's pace. For the first time since 2012, we aren't seeing rapid decline in days on market. This is an early indicator worth watching. Should days on market remain elevated, buyers could gain considerable leverage this spring, potentially resulting in more price reductions and fewer offers over asking price, but we're not there yet. Buyer activity remains solid, and even a small dip in interest rates could spur the market and swing the advantage back to sellers. Absolutely, guys. This market is super dependent on interest rates. And so if interest rates drop, more buyers will enter the market. And when you have more buyers, that's more competition. And therefore, listing days on market is going to fall because you have more buyers buying, kind of eating up the inventory on the market. And so that's where you get these types of numbers where these green lines are. I don't think we'll get back there, but we could potentially get into this range again with some really good rates. Just depends on how far rates drop. And guys, if you have any questions, please be sure to drop those in the chat. I am watching the chat and would love to answer any questions you guys have. Contracts. This is really positive, guys. Last week recorded the highest weekly contract count in the past 3 years, and only slightly below the frenzied pace of early 2020. We believe this affirms the trend we anticipated. There's significant pent-up demand from the last 3 years of suppressed market activity, suggesting that real estate may remain resilient in almost any interest rate, political, or economic environment. We will see how these patterns take shape over the coming weeks, but with a slight downward trend in interest rates, another spike in contract activity is likely. This is really strong pace for under contracts. And we need that in this market because inventory is higher. We need this to be higher in order to follow suit of the last couple years in regard to home appreciation and in the overall market and where it's at. Price reductions. Currently, 41% of listed homes have undergone at least one price reduction, down from 57% in late 2024. While it can be a wise strategy for sellers to push for maximum equity, they should stay flexible and be prepared to adjust prices based on market feedback, especially given today's unpredictable interest rate environment and higher inventory levels. As far as offers go, offers above asking are trending as anticipated, with 22.4% of properties last week closing above their original price. That's great for you sellers. Keep in mind, these numbers reflect homes that went under contract 30 to 40 days ago. So we're a little bit lagged in our data. I expect homes going under contract for at or above their original price to creep up because we're getting in a more competitive market. 40 days ago, interest rates were 10% higher than they are today, while elevated inventory and longer days on market could lead to more price reductions. Declining interest rates and robust buyer activity still point to a seller's advantage as we head into 2025 spring market. And guys, let me be really clear there, especially if you're a seller on this, or at least considering maybe selling. But let me think of how to phrase this. Everything that's being said here, if we can read between the lines for you, if you're a seller, like, springtime's the time to do it. Most of this report is bullish or optimistic for you sellers, but it's pointing to the fact that it's bullish and optimistic for a short period of time. meaning between now, the end of February of 2025 to probably like mid-April to beginning of May, that's when we're going to start to hear the market shift. And going into June, I think we'll have a little bit of a different take here. So guys, like now's the time. And I'm not saying that from my perspective. I'm telling you what the market's telling us. And I just want to be very clear on that, because what I'll show you here shortly, there's a drastic difference between springtime and Q3, Q4, even sometimes early Q1, if you are a seller, especially in today's market. And I'll outline that for you guys here shortly. Conclusion, the market is showing signs of both resilience and caution. That's what I'm saying. Caution, elevated concessions and days on market hint at a buyer-friendly conditions. And guys, that's like buyer-friendly conditions hinting like today in the beginning of the spring market. So could you imagine July, August, September, like I'm just saying, hint. Yet climbing contract activity, fewer price reductions, and rising share of offers above asking illustrate a strong spring season for sellers amid shifting interest rates. Buyers and sellers alike should remain flexible, staying mindful of market feedback and prepared to pivot as conditions evolve. Now let's look at these charts. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So even if we go to the hot market in 2020, you could see springtime, really good market. It's super hot, and then it kind of plateaus and it doesn't totally fall off, but that's because rates were like 2 to 3%, right? So the market's it's going to be really, really good no matter what. But you can see kind of the fall off. Now, if we tie it into this market that we're in, and markets more closely tied to that, you could see springtime, amazing time to sell. You got to kind of plateau here, and then it falls. You have a retraction in price. Now, this is average sales price per week, but this also tells the story of the market. When you have a higher price, you have more buyers buying, quicker days on market, meaning you're going to sell faster. And then when that kind of plateaus and we get into Q3, Q4, all the buyer activity slows, days on market goes up and pricing goes down. And so that's where I'm saying, like, please know, even though that report for the most part, from my perspective, was optimistic, like you've got, oh man, I wasn't sharing my screen. You've got to look at these charts right here and see that, there's a ramp up in spring, kind of plateaus here and then falls. In that 2021 chart I was showing you, springtime, you could see this is buyer activity, guys. Increasing, kind of plateaus, falls off a little bit, but fairly stable because interest rates were so good. But with a higher rate environment that we've been in the past couple of years, you can see what the market does. Like clearly, you could see it in almost all these charts. They're all fairly similar, right? Under contract by week. The more homes are going under contract every week until it kind of plateaus in that like end of Q2, beginning of Q3. And then it falls down a little bit, right? Even in 2021, this was the trend, guys. There's just less buyers buying in Q3 and Q4 of 2020 of the year seasonally. Now, when you have really great rates, it doesn't matter as much. But when you get into markets where you've got a higher rate environment, you can see the fall off's pretty big compared to the highs versus the lows going into December. It can make a difference. So sellers. I'm just kind of helping you read between the lines. And buyers, same goes for you. Buyers, think of this as inverse of this. What's good for a seller is good for you. Okay. And then you got listed to contract. We talked about this. It's kind of being stubborn here. It's just hanging out about this 50 days. But guys, I will tell you what the charts can't. And the reality is I'm in the market every single day. We're seeing showings pick up. We're seeing contracts pick up. Days on market fall. And so like you can only get as clear a picture as yesterday's data, right? Where I'm giving you a clear picture of what's happening ground level today in the market. And the reality is it's heating up, which I am very, very, very grateful for. I tend to have a little bit more of a pessimistic outlook on the market because I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. I like to do the whole under promise and over deliver. And so when I'm looking at the market, like there's some things that get me really excited that make me want to say, guys, like, oh my gosh, like the market's doing, but there's also things that in the market I see and I say, I don't like this. This could be the defining factor of a market where prices fall, right? And what I'm pointing to here is inventory levels. And so you need more showings because we have more inventory. This is the gap, guys. This is inventory this week last year compared to this year. Now, what's good is, we're nowhere near the high of last year, but if we keep trending up, you can only follow this trend line, right? And we're probably somewhere close to this, if not a little bit higher. Hard to say right now. My guess is these two lines will interject at some point. Guessing we have a little bit more inventory this year come, week 30, week 34, 40, et cetera, than we did last year. And so being that we have more inventory, we need more buyers. We need under contracts to be outpacing previous years, et cetera, in order for the market to stay in a appreciating state, if you will. Now, what I promised in this video, we're going to go through and compare Golden's real estate market to Denver's real estate market. I'm going to shift over here just a little bit because this does a really good job comparing them side by side. And so, guys, before we get into stats, I want to show you Golden. For those of you who don't know, Golden is a highly, highly desirable area of Colorado. And I'll tell you why here in just a sec, but I just want to once again encourage, if you guys are finding value in these videos, if you like the content, it's helpful, or maybe you know somebody it'd be helpful for, you wouldn't, like, I can't express in words how powerful a like on the video, a subscribe to the channel, a share to somebody else goes. It is very, very helpful in the support of growing the channel. And guys, we're here for a long time, not a short time. We're growing this to new heights. I'm here for the long term. And so just to encourage you guys to subscribe. And for those of you who actually are in the market, maybe you're looking to buy, sell, or invest here in Colorado and you have specific questions, my number is 303-332-1108. Just reach out to me directly. Again, I am a licensed agent here in Colorado, have been for 10 years, and really, really, really love not only just what I do, but providing a world-class experience to my clients. And so if you guys have questions, no obligation, feel free to reach out to me again, 303-332-1108, or you could find my contact information, even book a call directly with me below. Now, let's show you Golden. Guys, I mean, just looking at this map, can you kind of guess why Golden right here would be so desirable? Like, this is Denver. Here's the mountains. Here's Golden, right? So what's amazing about Golden, you've got two major access points to Denver here on I-70. You jump on that down to I-25 and you're to Denver in a very quick drive. If you're on this side of Golden, you're going to hit, I think this is 287. Sorry, hold on one sec. 287. I don't know why it's saying 70. Because it's not Highway 70, right? This is Highway 70. But you're going to this is 287. I'm almost certain of it. But you're going to hit this highway into Denver. You can also hit Highway 6 right here. So you got actually three major access points if you're in Golden to where you're in Denver in a relatively quick drive. Not to mention, guys, there's so much that Wheat Ridge. You've got Sloan's Lake, Lakewood, you've got Morrison down here, and then Golden in itself has so much to offer. You've got Costco Wholesale and all Arvada has to offer. So guys, in a very quick drive, you have all the amenities of Denver, Arvada, Lakewood, and Wheat Ridge in very quick distance. And not to mention, guys, Golden itself is amazing. Really, really, really cool downtown scene. They've got really good eats. The Golden Mill is a food hall. And as you can see from this picture, like it sits right on the river here, which is absolutely amazing. Really cool spot to go grab food. They've got a variety of pickings just because, again, it's a food hall. So you have different types of food you can get there. And then you've got Colorado School of Mines, which is a highly sought out college here in Colorado. And And so guys, Golden, like there's no surprise why Golden is so desirable. Not to mention you're backing to foothills in the mountains here. You catch I-70, that's going to take you to all the major ski resorts. You can hit Central City and Blackhawk in a very quick drive. That's where all the casinos are. You have Idaho Springs, one of my personal favorite mountain towns in Colorado. Just an amazing city, Golden is, because you've got the mountain living, but you're not in the middle of nowhere, right? And so really, really love Golden. Let's get into the market itself. Actually, you know what? Since we're on the topic, one of the kind of pivotal, monumental, kind of desirable amenities of Golden is you've got North Table Mountain here, South Table Mountain here. Really amazing mountains. They've got trails that you can go on. And they really kind of, as you drive into Golden from Denver, you kind of go in between these amazing, beautiful mountains. And then you have Golden, this kind of expansive valley, if you will, between these two little mountains here and the actual Rocky Mountains. And it's just a really cool setting that is absolutely stunning when you drive through. And so if we go to North Table Mountain, I pulled up some pictures for you. I thought I did. So that's South Table, but guys, North, like, look at how gorgeous. This is it. This is the picture I wanted to show you guys. I promise we're going to get to real estate stuff here, but I think it's also fun to kind of give you guys some insight as to what's Golden like, right? Where was that picture of those two guys or gals, whoever they were? Let me see if I could click on this, because this is an amazing picture, right? So you've got, let's just zoom in here. So you've got South Tabletop, and then they're walking on North Mountain Table, or North Table Mountain. And so you kind of come into Golden. I don't know if you can see my clicker here, right into here. And then it opens up to this valley right over here. So really amazing scenery in Golden. And if you could just look at some of these pictures, I mean, amazing. Go Google it. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. And if you go to Golden, Colorado, you can see right here, both of those mountains, right? And these folks, I think, are kind of hiking on the Rocky Mountain side. This is the valley, right, of Golden up here in this corner. Let me do this. Give me a sec. I'll show you guys better. This is the valley, guys. Amazing, right? This is like downtown Golden. How beautiful. You've got the Tabletop Mountains right here. And then on this side, you can't see it, is the Rocky Mountains. So really, really amazing place. I don't think it's any question why Golden is just as desirable as it is. And you'll see that desirability play out in some of the stats. So let's get into it. So first things first, we're going to go days in MLS average. And you can see Denver is this green line. Entire MLS is this blue line up top. Golden is this red line. You can see Golden's outpacing Denver by quite a bit. Days on market is 31 as opposed to Denver's 31. If we go to showings to pending average, guys, this is how many showings it takes to go under contract. You can see Golden is outperforming Denver. Once again, showings per listing, how many showings you can expect per week per listing. Golden, again, you're having more showings on houses than you are in Denver or the entire MLS. Active listings, you could see Golden right down here. Much less inventory to, of course, the entire MLS and then Denver as a whole. Now, that's not surprising, right? You can only fit so many houses in Golden compared to Denver. So that one isn't as clear of a, oh, look, Golden's outpacing. But it just does go to show that, Golden has less pending homes. Or I'm sorry, less inventory. Pending homes, that's not really a good one to look at, again, just because the markets are so different. But the days in MLS, really, really important data point, because it's showing you that Golden, you see that gap here? That's how much more desirable Golden is in regard to this data point of how quick it takes from when you put a sign in the yard to when you close on until you get a buyer under contract. So you could see, Golden is outpacing Denver in those metrics. The other thing about Golden, if we look at pricing, so this is Denver Metro, okay? The 7 counties that make up Denver Metro. You can see average sales price per week. Let me scoot this over for you guys. Is right here at 688,997. Whereas if we look at Golden, just itself, can you guess whether or not Golden's going to be higher or lower priced? Well, if you couldn't, it's higher, right? So as of week 8 in 2025, we look at Golden and we were at 826 compared to 688. And so ignore these numbers right here. What we're looking at is these data points, the average sales price. I believe those ones might be medium price up top. But nonetheless, you can see Golden is much higher priced. And I don't think that would be a surprise to you guys, right? Because look at Golden. What we're looking at here is a map, and this map probably gives you a better idea of what's available in Golden. And so you can kind of see Golden's kind of broken down into 3 main areas, if you will. I don't think that does justice. But if you look, this is, Golden right here. We'll zoom in. This map's going to update every time I do it. This is like the city of Golden. And then you kind of get into the outskirts of Golden, adjoining Lakewood, adjoining Arvada, and then adjoining Wheat Ridge, this kind of circle here. And then the other parts of Golden that are more mountainous, you've got Lookout Mountain here, Mount Vernon in Genesee, very, very, very desirable area here. And then the other kind of saturation of inventory or homes for sale is going to be in Coal Creek Canyon. So maybe if this loads, we'll just go back to this map. Coal Creek, and this is where you're going to find a lot of homes as well. Now, like desirability wise, this Genesee Lookout Mountain, like you're super close to downtown Golden, also super close drive to I-70, the major highway that's going to connect you to just about anywhere in Denver Metro, as opposed to Coal Creek. It's kind of out of the way here. And so you'll kind of see that play out into pricing a little bit. All areas though, very, very desirable. As we talked about with, some of the exploring Golden here in the stats. So what I want to show you guys before we end this is just what Golden's market's like. What kind of price points, what kind of homes, what can you expect if you're looking in this area, etc. And then we'll wrap this video up. But guys, as I mentioned, if you guys have any questions, throw them down in the chat. And if you are a buyer or a seller here in Colorado, and you want to get together and talk about selling your home or talk about scheduling some tours and going to look at Golden as maybe a place that you're either relocating to from out of state or in state, and you're ready to go closer to the mountains and enjoy maybe a more active lifestyle where you can, take a 5-minute drive to how many ever hiking trails and all of a sudden you're in the mountains. Whatever the case may be, all my contact information is down below and would love to serve you. But let's go into just a couple of stats here that I wrote down. So price point wise, Golden, if we look at it from 0 to 500, that makes up 14% of the market, but only 3 of those homes are single family homes. The rest are going to be multifamily, townhome or condo. From 500 to 750,000, that makes up 15% of the market. And out of those 15 listings, you have 12 single family homes. And then once you get up, 750 plus, most of these are going to be single family homes. But yet again, from 750,000 to $1 million, that only makes up 15% of the market. Okay. Once you go from $1 million to $2 million, that's 32% of the market, and 2 million plus is 21% of the market. So as you can see, pricing in Golden, and guys, this is active inventory, homes for sale, what the different price ranges are. And as you can see, 50+% of the market is $1 million plus. Outside of that, you have a small segment between 500 to $1 million that is going to make up 30% of the market. Most of those are single family. And then 14% of the market is going to be pretty much like townhomes and condos outside of three of those homes. And so price point wise, that's what you guys can expect. The market does move a little bit differently, as we've talked about, than a Denver Metro. It's a little bit more competitive. The desirability level is quite high. And I think that's no surprise at this point. So guys, what we're doing is I'm gonna open my map so I can show you some of these amazing estates and properties from 500,000 to, 5+ million. Let's just get my website to load here so that I can show you these amazing homes. And then we'll probably wrap this up unless any of you guys joining have any questions. So let's go into the map here. And I'd love to know what do you know about Golden, or what questions do you guys have about Golden? If you're catching this on the replay, feel free to still drop a comment. I will get back to you guys. And with enough requests, questions, etc., we can always do another video about Golden and maybe zoom into the different neighborhoods or the different home types. Or, we could look at, okay, what's really the difference between Coal Creek here as opposed to Lookout Mountain, and really do a deep dive into that, from the amenities, from the price points, etc. But if we go to Coal Creek, you'll see that the majority of inventory here is going to be anywhere from about 500 to 1.5. Where you're going to get 1.5 million plus is more so going to be closer to the inner city of Golden, and Genesee and Lookout Mountain areas. But guys, there's still, at an attainable price point, you could live in the mountains in Golden, and find a home. So to be at an approachable price point of 570, when average price in Denver's what do we say, 688? Like, this is, you can do it. You can own a mountain house. And so what we're looking at here, guys, the color on these, I actually kind of like it, oddly. But this is a house. You'd probably need to bring appliances in this one in specific, but this is in fairly good shape. You can see the floors have been updated, the bathroom's been updated, kitchen cabinets have been painted, and you get to live in the mountains. Again, more of an approachable price of $540. And so that's on Coal Creek Canyon. Again, a little bit out of the way when you go up this canyon here. You will still find $1 million homes, just amazing estates up here. With amazing views. I mean, look at this gorgeous house, right? This looks like it may even be a copper tone roof, but you've got a stone exterior. You've got the just beautiful. Look at the views, guys, from this. Oh my gosh, I haven't been sharing. I need to get better at that. Okay, let's go back to this house that I was sharing with you guys. Okay, this is the one I was talking about. Thanks for sticking with me. This house. So you can see they repainted cabinets. They got that nice finish here on the butcher block countertops. A beautiful house. This has been updated. It's in really good shape. And this is for $540, guys. Like, that's why I'm saying you can live in the mountains at a much more attainable price point. You've got some usable land here instead of it just being completely on a steep slope. Which you just have to love, because some mountain properties you'll get and all your land is on a steep, unusable slope, right? So there's kind of, it's 570. And then this is the house I was saying, is 1.4 in Coal Creek Canyon. Look at this thing. Amazing, right? Just absolutely gorgeous. Look at the view here. I'm falling in love myself, right? I'm looking at this like, yeah, we got to move. We got to move from where we're at. But absolutely stunning house. Again, Coal Creek Canyon, guys, a little bit out of the way. You're going to drive up the canyon. It's going to take a little longer to get into Denver and downtown Golden, etc. But it's still accessible. And so, it's while it's out of the way, you're still going to have a fairly easy commute down into the amenities. But you're still secluded. It's nice to be out of the city bustle and hustle, and you've got your own little estate here with amazing mountain views, etc. And so that's Coal Creek Canyon, just to give you guys a little sense of what you might be able to find there in terms of houses. Let's go into the city of Golden. Now, again, the city of Golden, you can see it's kind of cut off by these North Tabletop and South Tabletop mountains. To where you've got the valley, like the inner city, the downtown of Golden's going to be right here, but it kind of does this wraparound also. But if we're looking just specifically in the city of Golden, my guess is all these price points below $1 million are mostly going to be townhomes, condos, etc. But let's show you some, right? So this is a condo, unit 202, to live in the city of Golden. like still guys, you're going to be 5 minutes from hiking trails, 10 minutes for like just about anything you want from the mountains. And so you might look at this and say, yeah, let's do a condo, even though we're not living in the mountains. Again, somewhat of a more approachable price point relative to Denver Metro. And you're going to be in a super quick drive to everything you want in the Rocky Mountains. This is at $499. And then you've got, different townhomes and condo products like this one, for instance. This super, super gorgeous. You can see completely updated. This one looks like it's newly built. You got this rooftop deck. I'm assuming that ladder goes up to. Yeah, look at this. Oh, gorgeous. And that's $755. And then you'll have some new construction. Mostly what I find is, so if we go to, there's a lot of developers that'll come see, for instance, this one, right? Like one of the first ones I click on, where they're building from the ground up these beautiful, amazing homes. This one only has one picture. But let's get to, again, city. Look at it, guys. Look at this gorgeous thing, right? It has a putting thing, a putting turf on the top of the garage there. Just absolutely stunning. Now, of course, your price point is going to increase here. You're north of $3 million for this house. But like you can't beat the fact that you're that close to the mountains. You're that close to Denver and all the amazing amenities. And guys, look at the house. I mean, everything about this has been thoughtfully planned and designed. You have higher level finishes throughout. You can just tell you've got the standalone tub here with views of the mountains out there. Just absolutely amazing house and the way they put this together. And last but not least, let's go over to Genesee, and then we're going to wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for joining again. I am licensed here in Denver, Colorado. I've sold homes in Golden. I almost, maybe 3 years ago, bought a mountain on Lookout Mountain for reasons we won't get into here. We didn't end up going forward with it, but I can serve you and show you homes and help you navigate this market up in Golden. And so if you watch this video and you're like, yep, that's where we want to be, let's schedule some tours. Feel free to reach out. I am your guy. This one for $4 million. And guys, I want to make a disclosure. These are not all my listings. Please know these are listings from other brokers, none of which have been my listings. This one, I believe, I don't want to quote what agent this is, but I believe this is one of my friends' listings. And as you can see, this is new construction on Lookout Mountain. Guys, it doesn't get better. I mean, like, this is absolutely amazing. Let's see if I could find the agent here for you. Metro list. So what we do is we have the ability on our websites to syndicate different data. And so instead of just being able to propose to our listings, we can look at all listings available and have access to those. And then this is Genesee, a really, really highly sought out, desired neighborhood. And as you can see, just absolutely gorgeous homes. Look at the view. Like, imagine having your coffee to that. You've got elk and deer right outside of your house. Let me move my picture so you can see it. There we go. Look at, like, that's your morning view, right? Get your coffee, go hang out with wildlife, connect with nature, and then off you go into the day. And so, guys, that is it for today. I hope you found this helpful and valuable. Thank you for joining as always. We'll catch you on the next one. Be sure to subscribe. Reach out to me if you have questions. 303-332-1108. We're out. Cheers. Okay. Yes, love.
You're done?
Oh, yes.
No, she just is missing upstairs and then I find her at your door, so.
Okay.